Hello my loves and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 3. Now, we're taking a step back briefly, just very briefly, because we're going to go down into the Garden of the Consumed King, Osiris. One of the optional bosses, one of the optional areas in this game. And we're going to have a go at the Consumed King before we go and do the Prince's Lothric. That was him, by the way, shrieking as he does. Osiris is a really odd, weird boss. He's the equivalent in this game of Seath the Scaleless from Dark Souls 1. He is a human being who is transforming through his own arcane and occult experiments into a dragon. Not any dragon, but a pale, scaleless dragon. He's actually becoming Seath. He's becoming this cycle's incarnation of Seath, if you like. And a lot of the creatures around here are sort of the products of his experiments. What's really fascinating about him, and you'll see when we get to him, is that he seems to be following a path that would not be unfamiliar to some of the more transcendental figures in Bloodborne. He seems to be using similar occult shenanigans as the Scholars of Byrgenwerth. He even has... Do you remember how in Bloodborne, when we found Master Wellin, the presiding master of the College of Byrgenwerth, when we found him, he had all of those weird sort of fungi growing out of his back. Well, if you pay close attention to Osiris when we find him, he has those fungi growing out of his back. It's almost as though there's a common metaphysics here between these characters. It's really strange, really interesting. Before we get to Osiris, though, we need to open up a few shortcuts. We need to go through the Garden of the Consumed King, and we need to open up the ways to him, because he's not that tough a boss. He's actually relatively easy, but he can be quite aggressive and takes a few tries usually. So we want the shortcuts open if possible. Need to get past these pus of man things first. I don't know what the implication of Osiris is, the Consumed King, whether he is a member of an older civilization that Lothric is built on top of, or if he is in fact King Lothric, if Osiris was the king of Lothric, and the two princes who will be fighting later, by the way, are his sons. I don't know if that's the case or not. I've actually done the fight between the princes, but we'll do that next time round, or rather we'll do that maybe after we've done a lot of the more optional stuff. Because that's really one of the big battles. It's one of the big narrative battles in this game, and I'd prefer to save that for later. It's a really interesting fight. In fact, you'll see that we've done it, because we're actually going to be switching to a weapon in a little while when we fight Osiris that you can only get when you transpose their souls, which is their burning blade. It's absolutely amazing. It's a great weapon, and I think it's a chaos weapon or a fire weapon, I can't remember which, but you can set it aflame effectively, and it's slow, and it takes a lot of endurance to wield it, but bloody hell is it good. Ow, that didn't go well. Oh dear. Well, shit. Let me just use some editing trickery here, because that didn't go down too well, did it? Oh well. Right, here we are again, back in the Consumed King's Garden. Let's do it properly this time. We will get through to him properly this time. I really love Osiris. Osiris has a child. Part of his occult experiment is the production of a child, but the interesting thing is his child, Ocelot, is a great one. His child is invisible. Initially, he's cradling it. You can't see anything, and he's talking to it, so you think he's insane. You know, you think he's lost his mind. But actually, that's not the case. There is a baby there. You could hear it cry in the same way you can hear Murgo in Bloodborne. And I don't know what the implication of the fight is, but it seems to imply that you accidentally end up killing it or setting it free. as you do with the Great Ones. I think the implication is that you set it free, and then that sends Osiris mad. He seems to be intent on using Ocelot to establish either a new kingdom or a new state of metaphysics or something like that. He's very like Seek the Scaleless in character, you know. He's trying to transcend somehow through his occult experiments. He's trying to transcend this state of being that Gwyn set up. He's kind of cool. He's one of my favourite characters in Dark Souls 3. And totally optional, you don't need to do him. By the way, if you can hear a slight croak in my throat, that's because I have a terrible, terrible cold. Like, the first cold I've had since 2010. So, yeah, it's like a welcome friend returning in a peculiar, masochistic way. Right, before we go and do Osiris, I need to open the shortcuts, because, believe me, we're going to need them. We're going to need them. It'll take a few tries, I've no doubt. I'll cut most of them out, because he's one of those weird bosses. Once you've got him down, he's actually quite easy, but he does take a while to learn. His patterns are a little erratic, because he is a dragon, he's a beast, you know? So, like all the beast enemies, his patterns are a bit weird. They are a little erratic, to say the least. Lots of thieves around here. Again, slightly overused enemy model in this game, I do feel. It would have been nice to have some, like, different enemy models knocking about at times. But hey-ho. Dark Souls 3 is definitely still probably the best of the Dark Souls games. It like incorporates all the very best of the previous games. It's definitely the hardest. Oh boy, is it the hardest. When you do, like, when we get to the Ring City DLC, you'll see. There are certain areas of the Ring City that are insane. The Demon Prince is one of the hardest bosses in the game. Oh, what's the dragon called? There's a giant abyss-cursed dragon that's entirely optional and is one of the hardest fights in all of Dark Souls. Amazing fight. Absolutely amazing fight. But you really do need to do the Ring City to understand the metaphysics of this game. And to do the Ring City, you need to finish Ariandel first. So we need to do both of them. The two DLCs are beautifully interlinked, beautifully intertwined. On a narrative level, there is like a through narrative. From the moment you meet Gale, the guy who sends you to the Painted World in the first place, that narrative starts. And it's fairly complex. It basically takes you all the way through the entire metaphysics of Dark Souls 3. I'm going to cut out the shrine because we don't do anything that interesting. So I think I just level up, deposit my souls, etc., etc. Nothing that interesting, really. So let's get back, shall we? And go and kick the head in of Osiris, the consumed king. Okie dokie. We will be changing our armour as well when we fight Osiris. I'll be changing maybe to the Outrider armour, because that's pretty good. It's got quite a high magic defense, I do believe. So I do believe most of I keep calling him Seif because that's what he looks like, but most of Osiris's attacks are actually magic based. He is one of the big magic enemies in the game, like Seif was in the original game. It's just a shame that he hasn't got Seif's Gem of Immortality, right? Oh, you bastard! Oh, that's not good. Oh, get away from me. It's weird, a lot of the runs, one of the things they learned from Dark Souls 2, the runs to the bosses in Dark Souls 2 are pains and nobody liked them, because they were often harder than the bosses themselves and left you in a bad state when you actually got to the bosses. So they changed that for Dark Souls 3. A lot of the time the runs to the bosses are very easy. This is one of the exceptions. This is one of the grand exceptions. The run-up to Osiris is maybe one of the hardest run-ups in the game, actually, because there are a lot of really difficult high-level enemies that you actually have to fight to get to him. If you don't, they'll come after you and they will massacre you. They are very tough. The two knights, the two really big cathedral knights that are over here, you need to kill them, and they're tough. They're very tough indeed. So However, I do believe we can do a summon here. Once I've dealt with the knights, I believe we can do a summon, which is useful. It's a pyromancer that we fought in the Painted World. I will show you that fight a little later. Very tough optional enemy that also gives you a very particular pyromancy. So quite cool, really. And a reasonably useful ally to have in the Osiris fight. So these two we need to kill, and they're tough. They're really tough. Best to do it from afar. They can absolutely wreck you if they get up close. Also, don't let their size fool you. They're quick. When they get moving, they are quick, and they've got incredible range. Gotcha. Not quite as head-on as I would have liked. Put some distance between yourself and them because they're tough. And use pyromancy or sorcery or something. It's way easier. They're reasonably prone to backstabs, but it's very difficult to maneuver yourself because they're so quick and they track like you wouldn't believe. These guys track like knights from Dark Souls 2, they really do. Nearly dead. There we go. As you'd expect, I mean, they are protecting Osiris, the king, so of course they're going to be quite tough. Listen. That weird noise is Osiris and Ocelot. He's performing some weird arcane ritual of some sort. Okay, let's see if we can take him down. Here he is. Look, there's the fungus coming out of his back, just like Master Wellin in Bloodborne. And look, he's like a degenerate Sith.
You ignorant slaves. Finally taken notice, have you? Of the power of my beloved Ocelot, child of dragons.
A great one. Invisible like Murgo.
Well, I will not give him up. For he is all that I have.
See, he's not quite a dragon, not yet, but he's well on his way. Okay, so for this fight I've switched to the Outrider armor, and I've got the Gothard twin blades here, which I've put deep magic on. And we've also got an ally, Hawkwood the Deserter, who's a pyromancer. There's Ocelot. I don't know whether it's the same. I don't know whether it's the same sound clip as Murgo, but it sounds like him, doesn't it? I love that link between the two games, the fact that there are great ones, like sincere, legitimate great ones between the games. That is so cool. Yeah, he can destroy a lot of the environment as well. Watch out for that tail, he will whip it around and do you a lot of damage.
Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come on. Don't be afraid.
He's a strange boss.
What could you possibly fear?
Right.
Now, show yourself, Ocelot.
I mean, Ocelot is real.
Ocelot.
Ocelot is there, but we free him from this prison that Osiris has inadvertently created for him. Oh shit. Yeah, he's tough. I'm going to switch weapons in a little while so we can do a little bit more damage to him. Ah. So Ocelot is now gone. And now Osiris is going to go absolutely crazy. He's going to rampage around and become very, very aggressive. And he can kill you really quickly. He will whip around just doing constant attacks. So you've got to be really careful with this form. That whip attack there can knock you off your feet. It's good to have someone like Hawkwood distracting him at this point so you can whip... Oh yes, he will breathe crystal magic, just like Sith as well. Right, this is the flaming greatsword of the princes, and it's a wonderful weapon. It's really good against Osiris, actually. And I will be using it to get in the last of my hits. Ah! Oh yes, he got us with his tail there. As you can see, you can also use the environment to your advantage. Something a lot of players do. You can get caught on the background sometimes. And that's a really naughty, easy way of defeating him. I'm not going to do that because I don't like it. Oh, there's that whip again. Watch out for the crystal magic. It's very powerful. Oh, God, the amount of damage we do with that blade is unbelievable. Oh, wow, he's tough. We're nearly there. Nearly there. Come on. Right. A few more hits and he'll be done. One hit and he's dead. Gotcha! There we go. Osiris, the Consumed King, and Ocelot. Defeated. Defeated. I love Osiris. He is definitely one of my favourite bosses in this game. Now, this bit that follows, I don't even know really what to make of it. It's really strange. Do you remember the opening sequence when we found the Untended Graves and we fought, oh, what was his name? The big knight outside of the Firelink Shrine. This area seems to be another version of it. Like maybe a version from an older cycle or from another cycle that's just here. And it's just rotting in darkness. The abyss has risen and has basically consumed it. It's almost as though this has gone. This is part of a cycle that's gone before. That's a Dragon Man there, as from Archdragon Peak. So it seems as though they were the ones who were giving Osiris his wisdom, maybe. Although it looks like he ultimately betrayed them, doesn't it? Or maybe they were the subjects of his experiments. Maybe he was using them. Here's one of them. These are Dragon Men from Archdragon Peak. They are like the Snake Men from Dark Souls 1. The ones that were in the Gauntlet area. And if you look here, there's another one of the fire urns. The bowls like from Dark Souls 1 that you had to use to open the way. The Path of the Dragon. That is what we use to get to Archdragon Peak. We'll be going there a little later. We need to reach it through Irithil Dungeon. So okay, we've got this temple here, which is highly redolent of certain temples we found in Dark Souls 1 and 2. Mimic? No. So what have we got in here? Oh, Titanite Scale. Very good. However, if we look behind here... Oh. A way into darkness. And look, a world that's been consumed by darkness. And we're back, if you look very closely, we're back at the very beginning of the game. The very beginning, where we rose from our own grave. This is that area. It's the Untended Graves, but not the Untended Graves. Not the Untended Graves we arose from. This is the remnant of another cycle that has gone before. And it's basically it's almost like a glimpse into the future. It's like it's showing you what awaits this world, which is rot, darkness, emptiness, silence. And there's now a lot of fairly degenerate enemies around here. The enemies that tend to come about when the world is dying. So the crow creatures, the carrion creatures, look, they're up here. Protecting a rather nice ring, I do believe. Get rid of the priest first, if we can. So it can't activate and supercharge the others. Even when they are supercharged, these guys are not that tough. Ashen Ring, it's quite nice, the Ashen Ring. It basically, I believe, allows you to... it gives you more Estus, it gives you more... it gives you more of the mana when you use your Ashen Estus. Yeah, FP, that's right, restored with Ashen Estus, that's it. Okay, so it's quite good, it's quite a nice little ring, that one. Good if you're a sorcerer, that's for damn sure. Okay, now there's some quite tough enemies down here, more so than when we originally came here. So, let's... here's another one of the bowls, look. A consistent theme. Showing you that they're effectively useless and all burnt out at this point. These things, God, these things are pains. They're very tough, very tough. I can kill you really quickly. Ow. Okay. Yeah, best to deal with them. Definitely best to deal with them, because they will murder you. Oh yes, doggos. Plenty of doggos, of course. Rotting away here. And another one of these guys. I don't know what they are. They seem to be like grave tenders. It's like they appear wherever... Oh fuck. Oh dear. Oh! Whoa! Wherever there are graves to be tended, these guys appear. It's a very moribund duty they've got, it seems to me. But they also get very aggressive when anyone comes along who can threaten them. There we are. There's also, I do believe, there's a phantom up here as well. So that's going to be fun to fight. It's right near a cliff edge as well. So we need to be really careful when we fight it. And there's even a dark version of the Firelink Shrine, which is really cool. Gundyr, yeah? When we fought Gundyr the first time, the very first boss, there is a version of him here too, the champion Gundyr. And we're going to have to fight him, unfortunately. Although, at this point, he's not that tough. He's actually much easier than the first Gundyr, I find. Ow! Yeah, kick that doggo. Now, if you remember, when we first came here, there were two really big crystal lizards up this way. Well, no, there was one really big crystal lizard, and there are two really big crystal lizards now. But they're not that tough. They're just crystal lizards, you know? At this point, we can take them down relatively easily. The trick is not activating them both together. I've got a coffee, by the way. There they are. Get one first, deal with it, then activate the other. That's the trick. Do not activate them both together. Otherwise, it's not impossible, but it is tough. Fortunately, they've got quite a long activation range, so that's cool. Lead him down this way so you don't accidentally activate the other one. Not as tough as he looks. Designed to make you panic, yeah? Like a lot of enemies in this game. Look at how much we take off with that blade. It's unbelievable. That's it. 2 Titanite scales we got from that. Well worth it. Well worth killing them. Come on then. I love that rolling attack. It's so cool. At this point, they don't pose that much of a challenge. That's the truth of the matter. I mean, they can still do us harm, that's for sure, but look at what we do. The poise on this thing is insane. It only takes a few hits from this and they're down. They are down. Wonderful. It's just like before, it's just dark. Very, very dark. It's as though the fire has burnt out in this particular cycle and the darkness has risen to consume it. When we reach the Firelink Shrine, you'll see what I mean. Everything has failed at that point. Everything has failed in this, whatever cycle this comes from. The hero, the unkindled ash either failed or refused to link the fire. And this is giving you a kind of taster of what it would be like if the cycles continued and this decay just carried on. Of course, we know it's not going to, because this is the last cycle, the one that we're on. It's the end of everything. Okay, there's a champion here. Look, there's no vistas, nothing. Unlike before, when you could look out over the world, there's nothing. He's a sorcerer, this one, and he's a pain. He also heals a lot, if I remember correctly. He's a bit of a... yeah, he's quite a lot of Estus, so we need to be quite careful. If you can knock him over the edge, then you're in a good place, yeah? Oh shit, here we go. Powerful sorceries. He's got good sorcery, this guy. Ah, see what I mean? Very good sorcery. I need to go and heal, otherwise he's gonna kill me. There we are, and I could do with taking some Ashen Estus as well. There we are. Righty ho. That's it, get close to the edge, then I can knock you off. Yes! Over you go. Oh no, oh no! Well. We did kill him. So there's that. He won't come back, but we died as well. Don't worry, I'll get us back there. There we are. Well, that went well, didn't it? And we fall forever into the abyss. What a horrible thought. Look, there's nothing. This is like the last scrap of reality, because the Firelink Shrine is here, anchoring it in place. There is nothing. Love it. Love it to bits. It's so desolate. It's such a dark vision. Yeah, these guys are still here. Still following the same weary cycles. And, you know, it's only because the Firelink Shrine is here that they've been sustained. Everything else is gone. Lothric, everything. Oh, there's something down there behind the grave. I'm going to have to go get that in a moment. And I've got an arrow in me. Yay! That's going to serve me well. Yeah, kick him. Okay. Oh, you're all together. Good. There we go. That went well. Gotcha. Collapse. Okay. Oh, another one. Ow, thank you. Throwing kukris at me, I do believe. Doesn't bode well for you, this, me dove. Remember, let's not follow through too quickly because we'll fall off the edge otherwise. There we go. Go on. Yep, there's the other one with his crossbow. That darkness is really kind of intimidating and strange, isn't it? Considering what was here when we first came to this area, the vast vista of Lothric itself spread before us. Now there is nothing. Okay, right. You need to be very careful down here. There's quite a lot of these guys waiting in ambush, so you need to be quite careful, like this one, for example. You'd think they'd be pleased to see something different for a change, wouldn't you? But no. Apparently not. Okay, what's behind the grave then? Hidden Blessing. Don't know what that does. I'll have a look in a tick. I'm sure it's useful. Okay, these guys are very oddly positioned. They're quite difficult to take down, actually. Get caught in a crossfire between these two and you'll regret it, believe me. Oh, there's another one, hidden away. Coming up in ambush behind me. Didn't work though, did it? Okay, so we've got a summons here and a boss to fight. It is the Champion Gundyr. The big version of Iodex Gundyr. Swordmaster. Okay, let's have him. Sickly looking chap, but we'll have him. Why not? He will at the very least present an alternate target when he deigns to turn up. There he is. Oh, he's got a very interesting curved blade there. Katana of some description, I believe. See, here we are again. Look. And there's Iodex Gundyr in exactly the same position. Although I believe this time he isn't overtaken by the Pus of Man. If you look closely, he hasn't got it on him. So he's not going to mutate this one. He's a purer version of Iodex Gundyr. Same moveset and everything. Not that tough, really. A few more specializations than the original Iodex Gundyr. But that's about it. He's not that intimidating a boss. He does do this, he gets the red eye, and that makes him a bit tougher. and a bit more aggressive, but yeah, he's not that bad. Again, pyromancy is amazing against him. One of the things you do want to be careful of is backing off the cliff or him knocking you over the cliff, which does happen. If he does come at you, he will kill you in a few hits, so you've got to be careful of that. Got him. He's a bit more mobile than the original Gundyr as well. Oh, he hasn't got long. Ow, he kicked us. Don't let him grab you. If he grabs you, you're dead, basically. Uh-oh. Very careful. Oh! Oh, he killed us! Oh no, but the Swordmaster killed him! He's dead. Yeah, that went through, so let's get back there. Here we are. And, yeah. He's done. It just so happened that we died at the same time, so that's kind of cool. There's that big grave that looks like Nito's grave from Dark Souls 1. Which is kind of cool. Okay, well, that's Champion Gundyr done. Lovely little optional area. I mean, most people don't even discover this area. It's so weird. It's so out of the way. Black Knight Glaive. Ooh. Glaven. All of the Black Knight weapons are great. If you can infuse them, or if you can take them up to their next level, it's wonderful. Okay, this is the way to the old Firelink Shrine. Which of course has fallen on hard times, just like the rest of it. I need to get rid of these souls first, though, because there are, in an echo of Dark Souls 1, leading up to the kiln of the First Flame, there are Knights of Gwyn here. And their pains, obviously. So, let's just head back to Firelink, and I might cut it out, actually, again. Because I don't think there's anything that significant we need to do this time round. No. Okay, let's go. Now, this is quite a tough approach, actually. The Knights of Gwyn are tough. And a lot of these guys have got, like, great weapons, which makes them really quite difficult to take down. Anything down here, like before? Let's have a look. Got to be careful, because you can activate them and then they'll fall on top of you, which you don't want. I don't think there's anything there, is there? There was an item there originally, in the original version, but there isn't this time. Right, can you see him? Just stood up there? Knight of Gwyn? Yeah. Standing guard. And what is it they even think they're doing at this point? They've failed, you know? They're done. Their order is done, their metaphysics is over, there's nothing left for them. You know? Whoa, careful of that, that will knock you up in the air and stun you for a good long while. You don't want that. Worth a lot of souls, these guys, as you'd imagine. Hell of a lot of souls. Once again, empty vista, nothing but darkness, because that's all that's left. What you can assume from this cycle is the whole world is gone. There's only the abyss now. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's why the Knights of Gwyn are guarding the Firelink Shrine, you know, because it is the last... It's the last ember of their master's metaphysics. It's the only thing that's left in all creation that's sustaining. It does make sense. Yeah, and it also paints them as very futile, which I kind of like. It gives them the same desperation that Gwyn had in Dark Souls 1, you know? When he's desperate to stop you from reaching the kiln of the First Flame and undoing it, snuffing out the First Flame. What? These guys with the swords are the worst. They've got such reach on them. And they can do you some serious damage. That stab there is lethal. Gotcha. They're also not as prone to the backstabs as they used to be. You can still get it in on them, but they will track you much more efficiently than they used to. So the backstabs are not quite as good as they used to be. But in Dark Souls 1 and indeed in 2, when you encounter them, you just circle around them and stab them in the back, and it's relatively easy. Not so here. Not so here, my lovely loves. Okay. So here it is. Here's the Firelink Shrine, the darkened Firelink Shrine. Not much left here, to be honest. It's a very sad situation. Most of the characters who would be in it are dead. They failed, along with whatever unkindled ash failed this particular cycle. There's a couple more of the knights knocking about here that I need to take down, and a couple of items as well, which there we are, guarded, of course. Got to be very careful we're not knocked over the edge here, because believe me, it does happen a lot, as you almost just saw. Whoop. Whoop, nearly dead. Gotcha! They don't drop anything either, which is interesting. I'm sure they do if you keep killing them. They've got some drops. What have we got here? The Hornet Ring. The Hornet Ring... I can't remember what the Hornet Ring does, if I'm totally honest. Is it any good? Where is it? Leo Ring... There we are, Hornet Ring. It's over on the left there, I do believe. Boosts critical attacks. That's pretty, yeah, it's alright. It's alright, you know, it's nothing special, really. But it's okay. I'm not going to make a song and dance about it, you know. Now, there's one left and he's a pain. He's up on the right there. He comes at you by surprise a lot of the time, and he can be a real nightmare to fight. Because of his location. Kind of want to lead him away from all these narrow corridors and cliff edges, because it will not go well for us. Here he is. Here he is. Okay, right, let's deal with him. Come on! Best thing to do is get them to strike, then time it so that your fireball hits them full on. Yes, he did kill me a couple of times. Magic of editing, my loves. Magic of editing. I've also switched back to my my blades so I can get some quick hits in on him. Worth it. Well worth it. Ow! Bloody hell! Look at that, and the amount of attacks they can put out at once, like heavy attacks, is unbelievable. But you have to bear in mind they're supposed to be tough. These are dragon slayers, right? These knights are bred to kill dragons, so yeah, you should be quite measly against them, really. Yeah, there's something very sad about dispatching the last of Gwyn's line. You know, the last of Gwyn's civilization, who are just here trying to keep this feeble ember alive. The Chaos Blade, that's a good weapon. Chaos Blade's a good weapon. I think we can wield it as well at the moment. If I remember correctly, it's got like really heavy bleed damage. I might try and upgrade that, because it's a really excellent fast weapon and very good against some of the latter bosses we're going to be facing. One boss in particular I'm thinking of. I think you all know the one. The one I've only ever defeated once with lots of help. Yeah. Oh, him. I'm going to leave him alone, actually. I just want to get into the Firelink Shrine now and just make sure I haven't missed any items or anything like that. Don't think I have. No, I think that's everything, apart from what's inside the Firelink Shrine. Here we are. This is it. The Dead Firelink Shrine. Or the Dark Firelink Shrine, as a lot of people call it. There's literally nothing here, look. Everything's burnt out. Even the fire is gone. So the Firekeeper is dead. The coiled sword fragment from the dead bonfire. Very sad. Very, very sad. That basically... Ah, you're alive, though.
Well, fancy that.
Yeah, right?
A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell.
Right.
Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee?
Old handmaid, my arse. Now, what can she sell us? I'll have that. Oh, she's got Artorius's armor. Oh, I will get that when I've got the souls for it. That's very good. Slave Knight Artorius's armor. That's brilliant. Yeah, we've got that already.
To
So
skirt the curse's grasp. Tarry not for long.
Mm-hmm.
'Tis dark for now, and not a soul stirs.
Well, you would
But
know.
remember, fires are known to fade in quiet. Or perhaps thou'rt captive already, like the poor girl.
She would be the last one alive because she's one of the fates.
Best not tarry long.
Blah blah blah. Look, even our friend Andre is gone. Prithee! Blacksmith hammer. That's a weapon, I do believe. There is no one left alive here, but there is an item we want. A very special item that we can take back to our Firekeeper. Everyone is gone. Everybody's dead, Dave. So if we head up this way. Ah ha ha! Remember here? And oh look! There is a corpse. The eyes of a Firekeeper. Now if you remember, the Firekeepers give up their eyes. That's part of the covenant that they make as Firekeepers. So now we could... These actually are the eyes of our Firekeeper just from this reality, this dimension, right? So now we can take them back to our Firekeeper. Look, they obviously didn't get the souls because they're not here. And the fire burned away. It just burned down and the Firekeeper died and that was it. Nothing worked out in this reality. It all failed. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. And hollow and quiet. I kind of love it. But the coiled sword fragment acts as a... It's an infinite homeward bone, effectively. You can always use it to return to the shrine wherever the hell you are. It's very useful. They were apparently going to initiate a system in this game where you could lay down your own bonfires and strategically place them, but they found it didn't really work out, so they took it out in the end. But there are remnants of that mechanic knocking about. Even Patches is gone. Don't worry about Patches. Patches has got a story arc that we are going to follow. There's the giant from Dark Souls 2. Yeah, nothing left. Absolutely nothing. This doesn't open, I don't think. Can't get up onto the roofs there. So, yeah, that's it. Nothing here. All there really is now is to head back. Very strange area. Very odd. Desolate, hollow. It's got this real sense of... like a moribund quality about it. But then again, is it really the worst thing? You know, is a bit of silence really the worst thing? Given what we've seen, given what does come of Gwyn's perversion of the metaphysics of this universe. It's a question this game asks all the time. You know, is it so terrible for it to end? And the answer, of course, is no, it's not. Right, we can just go home now. Embered up a bit. Right then, right then, right then. Let's use a homeward bone, or we could use the coiled sword. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We'll go to the shrine bonfire, because this time we do have stuff to do at the Firelink shrine. This time we actually do have... There's narrative stuff that needs to be done. So let's do that, shall we? We have things to say to our dear firekeeper over there. Listen for the music change.
Ashen One for the Lords of Link.
Blah blah blah. Give her the eyes of the firekeeper.
Ashen One, are these eyes?
Mm-hmm. They're your eyes.
How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we firekeepers have been missing. Ashen One,
there we go.
Thanks for the eyes thou'st given. But firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
A world without fire.
Yes, the one that we're actually going to create.
Ashen One, is this truly thy wish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course. I serve thee, and will do as thou bidst. This will be our private affair. No one else may know of this.
Yeah, so this is like, this really is a
Stay
betrayal.
thy path. Find lords to link the fire, and I will blindly tend to the flame. Until the day of thy grand betrayal.
Yeah, so she's in on it with us now. She actually will...
Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Yeah. Listen, that's changed now. The music of the Firelink Shrine has changed now. Permanently. Because it's all revealed now.
It is what needs.
She's actually going to help us to betray the metaphysics of Gwyn, which is a big thing for a firekeeper to do, because it's what they're born for. It's what they're created for. They are spiritually bound to the flame they tend, and now she's going to help us snuff it out. It's a final marker in this game that yes, this is the end. Because you would, in the previous games, you never, ever, ever, ever would have gotten a firekeeper that would have done that. Because it's almost, it's anathema to them. They're born to tend the flame. That's what they're for, you know? Anything else? Pretty! Right.
Wow.
I thought she might have something new to say.
If my
No.
wares are not, bring me with. Is it
I
not
wonder what happened to her
clever?
sisters, where the other two fates are. Dread to think, really. God, she can sell a lot now. With the Umbral Ash that you bring her, she can sell you almost anything. It's really interesting. The Twinkling Titanite that we need to upgrade the Chaos Blade is quite expensive. I will be buying some of that, though. Just to take it to the very top, because the Chaos Blade is awesome. It's a really good weapon. Okay, we're going to go to Irithyll Dungeon next, believe it or not. Yeah, one of the old areas of the game that we haven't been to for donkey's years. Because that is where we're going to be able to reach Archdragon Peak from, now that we have that particular gesture from Osiris's realm. Okay, let's yeah, Irithyll is where we want to go. Not Ariandel. Don't worry, we're going to Irithyll, not Ariandel. I know I need to do those bosses. I need to finish the Painted World of Ariandel, and we will. Just not yet, because the bosses in Ariandel are tough. Really tough. Okay, so I need to find that cliff edge with all the knights that were sat cross-legged. Do you remember? Overlooking the mountains. That's what I need to find. It's not terribly far away, so worry not. And also, in the meantime, it's fun just slaying things, you know? Especially with these twin blades. I do like this fighting style, I've got to say. It's very aggressive, but I like it. God, these things are just falling before us. Also, I'm noticing their curse isn't affecting us. I wonder why that is. Do we need to go down there? Don't think we need to go down there. So where is the gate? It's one of the gateways. Somewhere around here. I just can't remember where it is. We'll find it. Not that one. It's definitely not that one. Down here, maybe? Let's have a look. Hello! Yes, that was fun. Yeah. Wonderful. Ouch! Got a bit of kickback from that one. There we go. Moida, moida, moida. Nope, not this way. There's the maggot man here, isn't there? I've got to kill him quickly, otherwise he's going to explode into maggots, which we don't want. There we are. Not that way. Not down here, I don't think. No. I don't think it's down this way anyway. Must be on the other side of the bridge. It's close, I know it's close. It's a very odd transition to Archdragon Peak. The inference is that we don't, or rather the implication is that we don't go there physically. It's like a spiritual journey that we undertake to Archdragon Peak. And it's really cool, as you'd imagine. I think it's down this way. The gateway's down here. Hi-ya! This is the one. So... Oh, look at that one staring at us. That's kind of distressing, isn't it? Archdragon Peak is one of the highest level areas in the game. Very, very tough. Lots of tough enemies, lots of tough bosses. But in fact, it's got one of the hardest bosses in the game, in it. You shall see, my loves. You shall see. Right, my loves, here we are. And when we come back, we will ascend to Archdragon Peak. Until then, bye-bye.